No way, we actually have a super quantum list showing up. We have some Madolche action and some more Cyber Dragons as well. You guys smash the link, crap out of that subscribe button. See, guys, don't miss out on more content. Yes, that's right. We have some super quantum action for you out here, and I love this deck, man. You do not get to see the great antics of the Megazord anymore showing up because most people just kind of power crept and forgot about this deck. I do see, however, we are doing some Monster Gate shenanigans in here to kind of try to find some of the missing pieces that we need. But this build is also trying to play some of the, we're doing Horus stuff in here. So the reason for the Horus stuff is just so we can get to the Giant Trainer to draw some resources so that we can kind of continue to play the game. That's perfectly fine. You're playing a deck that its purpose is to get as many bodies onto the field and roll on up here. And of course, hey, the Super Quantal Magna Carrier. Okay, I see you. In terms of play, Great Magnus is still a fantastic card, man. Like, you don't get to see cool things like this anymore. Now, this build got some interesting things. I see, with the triple enemy controller in here. To be fair, I mean, you're probably going to have a majority of bodies to kind of make sure you can toggle through and do your thing. Main decking a Snatch Shield. We're going triple mind control as well. So this deck wants to move its opponent's stuff on over to your field and just start doing your thing. Also, Mask of Restrict. Does this duel's locals have a tribute problem that we had to go and actually play this in order to stop? That's kind of cool. All in all, this is kind of cool, man. We're even getting to play the Promethean Princess line down here as well. I mean, I guess, yeah. We have fire right here. Okay. I mean, this is Super Quantums in the year 2024, 2025 out here. And you know what? This was not on my bingo sheet of things that I would think people would be testing out here. Next up, we have Madolche. Now, the current Madolche deck is about as standard as you would think. I'm still kind of relying on Fenrir to kind of be that little extra form of disruption, but you've also got to remember Fenrir helps out the deck massively because the minute you get Earthlocked, and also, you can pitch the extra copy of this off with the Vernal Sylph and go to town because, that's fine, You also don't get to play the other good cards in the Cash Tier lineup because, non-Earthlock is pretty ridiculous. But in terms of deck constructor here, you do see that this and Melodious, I think, have been the only two builds that have been navigating towards playing the Herald of Orange Light stuff. Herald of Orange Light is still a bonkers hand trap. Its whole purpose right now is to blast your opponent, to keep a board established for you, or at least help you while attempting to break a board and set up. Your Vernal Sylph line, I think, is fine too, because you got, one Awakening, the two Flourishing Heals, the triple Seedlings, and we are doing the one Thawing Mountains in here, which I think I've heard Thawing Mountains was the one that was usually slightly more optional in terms of things. This build, we are not doing extra. We are also not doing, we're no pot cards in here whatsoever. I guess we've reached the point now that the pot cards are kind of deemed a little bit of a hindrance for this deck. I don't necessarily agree with that, if you want my opinion, but it is, I guess it's understandable. Triple Tack Talents is going to be the big thing. Also, this deck is just going to be how much can we loop Butler and how much can we generate with this. This deck also dies to Nibiru very, very hard. It's in the same categories here. Like, the deck does very cool things and very unique things, but one Nibiru near the end of your board being generated is just game over. And that's where, same thing with Heroes. You see both of these decks kind of always being in that same classification of, oops, my best end board's a rock. What else we got back here? Ooh, we have some Cyber Dragons featuring Disc Blaster in here. Now, the cool thing with Disc Blaster that I always am going to love is the fact that Mr. Disc Blaster here is a machine dupe target. If we can get one of these stupid things on the field, you are able to do your thing. Also, the fact that, this can negate anything that activates in this card's columns. So you have, if you're going into your Pendulum matchup, both Pendulum columns literally can be controlled and negated through the Negation Fortress. Like, that's a very niche and stupid thing to kind of remember, but it does actually you do need to be aware of that one little interaction with this. Also, you know, this does give you some turbo access to getting the Nova into the Infinity up and running. Other little interesting things here. Carnot is still seeing play. I believe I just actually fairly recently saw a list not even choosing to play Carnot in terms of Cyber Dragons, which is a very bold strategy out here, because Carnot usually should be live. Like, as long as Carnot is able to come down as a free 3k and then, you know, just kind of keep the wheels going, it's fine. One power bond I feel like is pretty normal at this point. You do see we have some heat waves down here. This is, you got to remember, Cyber Dragons want to go second. They want to be able to board break. So in a situation that you're like, oh, I'm gonna outsmart the Cyber Dragon duels. Yes, that's right. I'm gonna make the going second deck go first. Yeah, this is why Tenpai got away with this shit. All right, you had everybody out here trying to 5-headed IQ this, and now you got people honestly looking at this card going, oh, hey, you know, boom, congratulations, outplayed. And unfortunately, yeah, that's the that's just what you're going to have to deal with. You just enjoy losing the game because you tried to outsmart the Cyber Dragon player. This deck puts damage on the field like it's kind of nuts. All right, ooh, we have some more Maliss action for you here. Now, I've been trying to look at as much Maliss as I can in these videos because I want to see the ideas that players are kind of bringing to the table right now. Between, you know, the Sky Striker package, Kashtira, you know, the Fiendsmith stuff, you don't really see a lot of people running around out here and going back to the pure side of the equation. I think pure is kind of deemed a little bit worse off than others right now, because when you look at how pure is kind of structured, it just kind of leaves a bad taste in people's mouths right now. Because honestly, pure has issues. You don't have the Kashtira package is supposed to put the extra bodies on the field. Actually, all of them are supposed to put the extra bodies on the field so that you can use them to kind of climb up into the Fiendsmith or into, you know, your Link 3s and be able to populate and play the game. Pure has a harder time doing that, but by kind of cutting the fat, I mean, you just kind of rely on the buy steals to get the job done. But you can also play things like the Code of the Soul just to, you know, do your thing. But if your opponent cuts you off of one of these, it is an absolutely hard time recovering. All right, I'm also surprised to see this build's not looking at Allure Darkness at all. I think Allure is a very good resource for a deck like this in order to try to generate and be able to play the game. But if you're just choosing to not really worry about it, I think that's fine too. Also, only 2 droplets? I guess this duelist is just really not worried about board breakering. Like, 2 droplets, you have this. You know, you have the Trolls and the Bells, I guess. Ghost Bell has been seeing a lot more uptick as of late as well. Do not underestimate Ghost Bell's presence right now. Ghost Bell has been really, really good. But outside of that, I mean, hey, you got some more Maliss lines, I guess. All right, and then we have some Ryzeal action for you. Ryzeal has just been praised as like this great challenger deck in the meta right now. You know, Ryzeal, the Fiendsmith is the best deck. Sure. All right, but what are the pure innovation lines doing? So for this list, I see we are doing 2 copies of Droll in the main, which is fine. We are doing the triple Fool Wars, which is okay. We are doing the 1 Ogre. I do like the 1 Ogre, but you also see here that we are dedicating some massive slots to this. Hello. Now, this is cute. We are playing triple Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries down here so that we can actually ping our opponent's Requiem. That's right. We have reached the point of LOL with our opponents that we are choosing to blow them out with this. That's funny. I also see we are main decking 1 cross-siding the extra, but we're not playing pot of the draw. No desires in here. Well, also went with the 2 aggregator as well to kind of clean things up. We are side decking the Plasma Hole. There's the Barrier in the Sanctum, sure, with the thrust. That's pretty normal. You also do see the Feather Duster in here, but only 1 Lancia. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. For as much as I played, this card's not once per turn. So your opponent attempts to do something, you can chain the second Lancia if you draw it. I don't know why people haven't realized that yet, but sure. But interesting. There's definitely some ideas to be had here. So what do you guys think about these lists? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.